Hello. AI is no longer future. It's a competitive advantage if you are working. Let's hear it from the expert Amlan, who is a software testing automation lead. And this podcast can help you understand both technology and the business impact of using AI in software testing. Hey Amlan.
Hello, Rajesh.
Hey. Can you start by explaining your role as a QA automation lead and what does a typical day look like for you?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me in your podcast. I'm really glad to be here. As an automation lead, my primary responsibility is to ensure software quality through automation first testing strategy. So it's obvious that we are using automation at all aspects. For this, the first task that I do the moment I log in every day is to report the status of the pipeline runs. We have different pipeline runs for sanity, smoke, regression, and each of them works. Each of them runs on different days, and that's the thing that I report first to determine if there are any bugs in the product or not, and ensure the stability of the product. I lead a team that develops, maintains automation frameworks using Playwright, and oversees the CI/CD integration and collaborate closely with the developers, business analysts, DevOps team, and the client, of course. A typical day at my work includes reviewing the automation coverage, cleaning and setting up the environment, ensuring that it is up and ready for all my team members to work on. And if there are any issues that they face, I normally fix the environment issues, and that responsibility is on me. Then analyzing the test execution reports or the pipeline and assigning it to the team members if there are any bugs, and mentoring the team members and unblocking them if they face any technical issues or issues related to the product. And also, we increasingly use and leverage tools such as Copilot and Gemini, and mostly the integrated tool that we have for our organization. For obvious reasons, I can't mention the name of the tool for confidential reasons, but we have our organization's tool, AI tool, which we are using most of the time, at least 90 to 95% for our day-to-day tasks.
Fantastic. That's very interesting. So, what type of testing are you responsible for, and where does the automation fit into your strategy?
So I'm responsible for all sorts of testing, like normally from not just the testing, but from all the phases of the STLC life cycle, software testing life cycle. So we start with test plan, test strategy at the initial phases of our project, and then like we are into functional testing, regression testing, sanity testing, smoke testing, and API testing, integration testing, as well as system testing. So all kinds of testing we do for different projects. So my focus mainly spans on end-to-end quality assurance, so that end-to-end everything works fine. Automation is basically the backbone of our project. We do the functional testing, and once the product is stable or the particular feature of the product is stable, we automate the feature, and once we automate the feature, we start running it in the pipeline so that so that we can ensure that the feature works fine. Today, at least 80 to 90, 80, 85 to 90% of our repetitive testing, regression testing is automated, and we allow our teams to focus more on exploratory testing, than security testing, than quality engineering rather than the manual execution. So we ensure that the manual work is minimal, not just testing, but also the reporting part we do using the AI as well as using automation.
Fantastic. And since you spoke about software development lifecycle, can I understand how AI is embedded across the SDLC?
Yes, as I mentioned, the AI tool that we have in our organization, which our organization has developed, we use that tool along with other tools such as Copilot, Gemini, and so on and so forth. AI is involved in all aspects of our automation, especially like for the past 2 years, we have been using AI, and now it's almost like a 90 to 95% of the tasks we are using AI. So for test plan, for example, we get the requirements from the client and we get the test plan document. We put the data in the AI, and the moment we put the data in the AI, we get the test plan in a particular format, and we just need to modify the format based on whatever the requirements are, and whatever is generated, we need to omit. And so that too like requires some work, but we do that, and then forming the test strategy document and all other things that we do until we start the testing, we use AI, like writing the test cases. Writing the test case also involves the usage of AI. AI. And then when we start the automation, we use the AI for generating the scripts and then execution of the scripts and ensuring the scripts work fine. Yes, and like for all, like even for reporting, once we get the report of the pipeline status, we analyze that using the AI tool that we use. Mostly we use this, and sometimes if there are any mismatches, or like if we have to explore more in order to modify the process, we use advanced tools such as Gemini and Copilot. But most of the time, we use the internal tool that we have developed.
Got it. Got it. So, do you face issues while working with AI?
Yes, obviously issues we do face. I mean, these are not challenges. Thing is that thing is that like the better prompts you give, the better results you get. So we have to ensure that the prompt that you give is very systematic, very well structured and like very precise in order to get the right kind of results. But one thing that we have to ensure is that like we shouldn't let the AI take over the control. So every time we give the prompt, so that is a big challenge. Every time we give the prompt, we need to ensure that we need to validate whether the whatever the AI is providing, it's fine or not. So if we have to fine tune it, we have to ask the AI to do it, and if we approve it, the AI generates the code and generates the results, and we normally make use of that. So that's the challenge that we face, and more or less like when you asked about challenge, let me be a little more precise. So if we let AI take over it, right? So then it normally sometimes it messes up the code. So that's a big problem. And the moment it gets messed up, it almost takes an entire day to restructure it. Especially during the initial phases, it's fine when we don't start I mean, like when we are at the initial phases of a project, but especially when we have complete like a 500, 600 test cases, and then there's some mismatch, some mess up. So if it messes up something, if accidentally it runs a wrong git command or something like that, then we have to restructure the whole thing. We have to keep giving prompts in order to make it right and all of that, and that becomes a very Herculean task. So for that, we have to be very careful in giving the prompts in terms of whatever we give in the AI.
Fair enough. I think that is a very common issue. So basically the biggest challenge when anybody try to use AI in scale is basically one, you need to give the effective, prompts. The prompt engineering as such has to be, the input has to be very effective. And second one, after inputting the prompt, the output it generates, and validating the AI generated results itself is a kind of humongous task, and that is where I think the human in loop makes an advantage. So how does the human in loop work in your environment?
Human in loop, yes, human in loop. So whatever the AI generates, we have to validate first. That's the most important thing, that
Right.
that the inputs that we are giving is fine, and whatever the output it produces, it has to match with the input, match with the requirement. If it doesn't match with the requirement, we have to fine tune the prompt further in order to in order to match it. So that's where the human in loop is very, very essential. And plus, we have to, especially when it comes to numbers, right? Since I'm the automation lead, I have to present the numbers to the client. How many test cases are paid? How many
Savings.
and when you have like around 1,800 to 2,000 test cases, if there's a mismatch, so sometimes what happens, there's a mismatch between what we get in the report, status report, and what we have as a total number of test cases. So that time, in order to match, we use tools such as like our internal tools and the Copilot and Gemini. So that way it becomes very effective in finding it fast, or else it almost takes half a day or even more for getting the matches correct. I hope you understand. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I completely get it. And everybody talks about the benefits, right? What is the saving? What is the outcome by the usage of AI? So, is there any measurable savings or benefits that you can say? What is the substantial benefits?
Yeah, the benefits are we don't have to code line by line. So the code that you get after giving the prompt is auto generated, and it's well structured. well structured.
Yeah.
And it's just that you have to mention where to place what, that you have to be very precise about. So it saves a lot of time. One thing. Second thing is,
Understood.
especially in terms of reporting, when like after test cases are fine, obviously that is helpful, especially when it comes to reporting, in order to get the graphs, and presenting the status to the client. It helps a big deal, because it generates the graphs, like whatever graphs we generate manually, it takes hours, right? So normally it's just a matter of 5 to 10 minutes to get the right kind of graphs. It's just that we have to give the right kind of data, and the data is presented in a specific format, which is very good.
Fantastic. Last, absolutely. The last question for you, as a the software engineer working with AI, how do you see this space, the QA, evolving in the next 3 to 5 years?
Certainly, it's getting better and better, and I think this is the future. This is where the industry is heading, using prompts and making the best use of AI in order to get our tasks done in all phases. I mean, like right from the beginning of the project, any project, to the end of the project, to end for end-to-end product development for all aspects, especially in terms of QA automation. Then now, like AI is being integrated with MCP servers and various tools. So because of which the reporting is also very convenient, or updating the status is also very convenient. So with regards to that, it is very it is going to be much more advanced in the future, in the long run. And AI is the future, and conventional way of coding is something that we should not avoid, but we should cut down on.
Got it. So in a one line, I think I would say, like, summarize saying that testers will spend less time executing the tests and more time on designing the quality strategy for the organization.
Yes, yeah. Obviously, yeah.
Okay.
Most importantly, developing the test. In developing the script, they'll spend less time and more time in execution.
Got it. Thank you. Before I leave you, let's go for a rapid fire question and answers. So, are you ready?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay. The first question for you: one testing activity you would never do manually again.
Obviously, smoke testing, especially
Uh-huh.
smoke testing. Yes, if you want me to elaborate, yeah, especially if I have to check the key features of the thing every day. Obviously, I can't do it manually. So obviously, smoke test is something I'll never do manually.
Got it. Second, one word describing the AI's impact.
Velocity, of course.
One tool you would keep for weeks together.
Copilot has been of a great assistant, and let me tell you, using Copilot, I was able to reduce the failure percentage by at least by 30 to 40%. Can you imagine? So we had a pass percentage of 58, and because of something related to very specific to our application, although the scripts were fine, we were not able to get the correct results. So I was able to do that using Copilot. So Copilot is something which will always be of like an assistance for me. So it would be my Copilot always.
Got it. Thank you. One crazy question: the biggest myth about AI in your testing field.
Yeah, the biggest myth is that AI will replace everything, but that's not true. Human monitoring is obviously required, because the thought and the creativity comes only from human, which AI can never replace.
Last but not least, will AI replace the testers?
No, but it will definitely replace the ones who do not use AI. So everyone should adopt AI.
Well said. Well said. Thank you, Amlan. I mean, the future belongs neither to the humans alone, or not to the AI alone. I think it belongs to the professionals like Amlan, who's sitting in front of me, and who learn how to combine the human judgment with AI capabilities. So, thank you for joining the podcast. Thank you, Amlan, for your day. Good day.
That's for certain.
Good
Thank
day.
you very much for inviting me.